Hello everybody. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name's Christopher Jenkins. I first want to thank you all for showing up at my presentation today for crisis management for my business communications course at Wayne State University. The first question I have for you guys is, do you guys know what crisis management is?
No.
No? I see a nod. Awesome. That's okay. Anyways, if you guys don't know what crisis management is, by the end of this presentation, you guys should have a firm idea of what crisis management is and why it's important. I will also be discussing on companies like GM and BP and the crisis they are currently facing. For the agenda of the presentation, I'm going to define crisis management. I will also discuss GM's current crisis as well as BP's current crisis. And I will also give my final thought on the presentation. The first question I'm going to answer is, what is crisis management? Basically, crisis management, in a nutshell, is procedures that businesses or organizations have to avoid any sort of harm or threat to the company. I'm sure everyone in this room has dealt with a crisis, major or minor, am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important for any individual to prepare for the worst. A good example would be life insurance. This is a form of crisis management as it protects the family of an individual against the aftermath of a person's death. Why is crisis management important, you ask? Crisis management is important because businesses need to prepare for the worst types of crisis, whether it be financial, health-related, or technological. By preparing for these types of crisis, a company or organization can be sure that they'll be able to survive any type of crisis they may face in their future in order to continue their success. The first company I'm going to discuss is GM, which is General Motors. You guys are familiar with General Motors, right?
Yeah.
They've been around for 100 years plus. I have a GM. I know probably some of you have a GM. But anyways, they've dealt with many crises in their lifetime. Currently, they're dealing with a huge crisis involving ignition switches. This is affecting 2.5 million vehicles. The company's recalling all of them. As far as crisis management goes, this is an example of bad crisis management. This is something that could have been avoided years ago. The company is being accused of knowing about this issue years ago. They're being accused of cutting corners. This type of recall is actually being, they're accused of 13 related deaths. So this is a bad example of crisis management. The company is currently working on the issue right now. A good example of crisis management involves the company BP. You guys are familiar with BP, right?
Yep.
They're a gas distributor. 5 years ago, BP was involved with one of the biggest oil spills in U.S. history in the Gulf of Mexico. The general public basically refused to shop at BP because of this, so BP had to do something in order to basically get their reputation back up. So BP came out with TV commercials that basically answered any questions that the public had. They pretty much said that they were going to fix the issue and spend about $1 million a week until the issue got resolved. Currently, BP is dealing with another oil spill that's involved in Lake Michigan, which is hitting close to home. Basically, BP has had experience in the past with the oil spill. They've had this type of crisis management dealing before. So I'm pretty sure that BP is going to be able to fix this issue. It's not as big as the oil spill in Gulf of Mexico, but currently they are handling the situation and they are doing quite well. They haven't had as big as a backlash as much as GM because this is something that just came out of the blue. GM supposedly knew about the issue, but BP, this is something that they had no idea, so they're currently fixing the issue right now. My final thoughts on crisis management. Basically, crisis management is important for any organization and business. Proper crisis management helps a company to be successful. GM has been successful in the past. Hopefully they do get over this recall. It helped BP with their oil spill. So, but without crisis management, companies are dooming for failure. Without crisis management, a lot of companies do they they're unsuccessful. But that's it on my presentation. Do you guys have any questions?
Nope.
No? All right, thank you guys so much.
Oh, you don't know how to do it.
No.